Hi folks, this is Deana Paqua of embodythesacred.net, and I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about the times that we're in because they certainly are challenging. And there's so much upheaval and chaos and change, it's really hard to ground ourselves and to, really understand the bigger picture of what might be going on. And I am certainly not the end-all be-all in terms of knowledge in this area, but I have sat with a number of very knowledgeable elders from various indigenous communities over the past 18 plus years, and also other spiritual teachers whose work has held water, even in these really times of a lot of division. So anyway, the times that we're in, uh, the seed planting for the shift of the times, a lot of folks look back to 2012 and the end of the Mayan calendar, and there were certainly some energetic shifts going on then. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. But really at the winter solstice in 2020, we had the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in the sign of Aquarius. Then in the beginning of February 2021, we had 6 or 7 planets in Aquarius, which is very unusual. So, and overlapping that with some of the teachings that I've learned from from the elders, we're really in the times of change, and obviously very chaotic change, but it's eventually, hopefully, going to lead us into a better place. So we've all gone through some really difficult challenges with COVID. Some people have lost loved ones. It's been very tragic in a lot of ways. It maybe didn't need to be that way, but it also could have been something much worse. Evidently, we weren't getting it. So humanity really needed a big wake-up call, especially in our more industrialized Western culture where we're still continuing to treat the earth in the way that we have. And that just really can't continue. We also can't continue to treat each other the way that we have. And, in all the ways that people are marginalized, and, there's maltreatment from, racially, socially, misogynistic, anti-LGBTQ, all of it really needs to change. We need to stop going to war. All these things need to stop. So the times that we're in now are meant to shake us up. In Andean culture, it's called the Pachacuti, which is the time of turning things upside down and shaking them up. And that eventually we move into this time of a golden age where we are returning to a more heart-centered way of life, a more community, we the people way of life. And that's also connected with these energies of Aquarius that have been pouring in. So Aquarius is the visionary, is the creative problem solver. I'm an Aquarius sun, so I really am excited. And I'm also, fearful because so much has gone on. And, I'm very hopeful though. I'm hopeful for the future because of these things and because of all the wonderful young people that I'm meeting that really do get it. So it's about coming together. It's about doing for our neighbors to protect the more vulnerable. So like this whole thing with wearing masks, which became a political statement in the US, which, in other parts of the world don't really understand, because it's really about protecting our neighbors. So if the path that we're on, if the spiritual path that we're on is all about, expanding consciousness and connecting with the Galactic Federation and ascending to fifth dimensional awareness without being compassionate and caring for our fellow neighbors and for those more vulnerable, we're kind of missing the point, in my opinion. And not everybody's going to agree with me on that, but it's really meant to return us back to our hearts, to our communities, to using our gifts, talents, and skills in service of others, to living and finding our soul's mission. We have record numbers of people quitting their jobs because they know that they have, we've all been facing life and death with this virus. So they know, folks are really finding that they're having this higher calling to really find their soul's purpose. So, all of that, according to what I've learned from my teachers is, these times are really meant to help return us to a more spiritual way of life, a more earth honoring way of life, connected with our soul's mission and in service to our communities. And it's about we the people. It's about coming together. It's not looking to an authority figure, whether it be a spiritual leader or a political leader, to be our savior. We need to work together. That's what it's really about. And, there's various ways we can do that, from, how we can take care of each other in a public health sense. So it's public health and community health versus individual freedom. And I think you know what I'm saying about that. So we all have our role and we all have our parts to play, and we certainly all, need some healing and compassion and, ways that we can ground and release fear, so that we can come from, use more discernment in the decisions that we're making. So if anything I've said resonates with you, I offer private sessions and classes and training in various spiritually and energetically based healing modalities that I've been practicing for over 20 years. So I look forward to sharing with you all again soon. And thanks so much for listening. Take care.